So how can I help you today, bro? Why have you booked the call? Tell me a little bit about yourself and I guess we'll go from there.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, so I've always just wanted to just get my property business up and running.
Hmm.
I've been flirting around it for a long time now. For me, I've always know what I need capital. Let me just keep working. I need
Sure.
capital, but ultimately, I've just wanted to work for myself. So
Hmm.
I've got like my website built. I want to go into like guaranteed rent has been the strategy. I think I've just been kind of juggling my mind with so many different strategies. I thought service accommodation was the one to do, but for me, I think I want cash flow and I want that stable income coming in. So putting stuff on Airbnb and Booking.com and stuff, I don't think I want that to be my primary.
Right.
Uh, but that's the one I tried first, and I didn't get that far.
Hmm.
I joined different different learning hubs and stuff like that. I've joined different courses, and
Hmm.
I know the strategy now. But it's like, okay, cool. I want to do like rent to HMO
Hmm.
or eventually go into B triple R.
Yeah, yeah, got you.
Yeah, man. For me, ultimately now it's like I just want the guidance. I need mentorship to just put my head down and focus on rent to HMO, and
Hmm.
then build out a portfolio from there.
Got you, bro. So it sounds like you've taken some steps into it already.
Yeah.
You've already got a baseline level of education there. So you've done other courses, you said, or is it like free stuff or like you've paid or how's that gone?
Yeah. So I paid for like a mentorship thing as well.
Hmm.
Which is really good. I think obviously even being in like the group chats and stuff is really good and encouraging, but obviously that strategy is strictly service accommodation.
Got you.
Um, And for me, like I said, I just want to focus on HMO and like B triple R long term. But and then obviously probably go into the other ones eventually. But I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
just go down on like rent to HMO to
Yeah.
begin with.
No, I mean that's a wise move. I mean that's how we started, and that's like most of our portfolio is rent to HMO. Um, Service accommodation, Airbnb's become a bit more like a buzzword in the last couple of years. I'd say it's become a lot more popular, isn't it? Like everyone wants to do it because it on paper it looks like it makes more money, doesn't it? So it's a bit more appealing, but it can be a little bit more difficult getting those deals, I guess, than I guess the HMOs. Those landlords, they're ready for someone to come and offer them that service, that management service, you know. They're normally a bit more high intensity or high intensive operations for landlords to manage themselves because like they're normally like five, six, sometimes 10 rooms at a time, 10 different tenants and stuff. Um, So yeah, I mean it's definitely there's a lot of landlords all over the country that are looking for someone with a bit more energy than them.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably going to be 50s, 60s, that sort of age. And they need someone with a bit more energy who they trust to do like the management side of things for sure. So you're barking up the right tree, I'd say for sure. Yeah.
That sounds positive, man. I think, yeah, man. I'm just a bit like, cool. I just want the knowledge. I don't want to make mistakes, too many mistakes anyway, because obviously you can
Yeah.
learn from. But yeah, I'm in the space where I'm ready to like start calling landlords and pitching.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, things like getting the right contracts. I would love to have more visibility on that. Even like
Hmm.
how to necessarily find HMO properties compared
Hmm.
to how HMO property
Yeah.
to call out and just focus on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think would be good to get that mental
Yeah,
guidance
for
through.
sure. For sure, bro. So what's the goal like long term? Like where are you trying to get to? I know you mentioned B triple R in the future, but are you trying to like replace your income now or are you trying to like you're working at the moment, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, working at the moment, but I want out of my 9 to 5. Like I've
Okay.
just been to be out of my 9 to 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I just want to have enough properties that can just replace that income. And for me, it's not even that much in terms of what I'm willing to quit my job for.
Yeah.
So I just focus and scale it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about rent to rent is obviously like, yeah, there is work involved. A lot of the work is upfront, getting the deal and then maybe like furnishing it, getting it ready, finding tenants. But once you've got to that stage, it's relatively passive. Like there is still work involved, but you won't be putting in 40 hours a week for sure. You know, it's more like a couple hours a day here and there. Sometimes nothing will happen. It will just, you won't do any work. But then other times, I don't know, a door handle might break. You might have to send a contractor to go and fix that. But generally speaking, it's not that time intensive. So I think yeah, I think that's definitely the right route to go down. Just trying to get a feel for where you're at, bro, and see like if you really want to build it out as a business and replace your income, then that's the type of person that we are looking to mentor. You know, we need you to kind of be at that stage in your career, working career, where you really want to make this your business, you know. Because we've had
Mm.
people in the past who've come in like they want to dabble in it a little bit, and you know they're a bit tentative with it, and they might do it for an hour here and there around their job, and then they just give up.
Yeah,
So we kind of need people that are going to be like, right, no, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to get out. I'm going to do the work that's set for me and get it done, you know?
yeah, no, 100%. I think that's definitely where I'm at. Like my vision board for 2025 is like the dream is to get out of my 9 to 5 officially.
Yeah, yeah,
Working towards. So yeah, it's just about doing it right and actually seeing the stuff that I've written down for ages just come to fruition, really.
yeah, yeah, of course. Well, that's good, man. It's good that you've got things written down. You've got a vision board. I'm big on all of that stuff, like affirmations and writing things down and bringing them into reality, you know? You have to have a clear plan of what you want to do. Most people don't. So that's where most people go wrong. I think having it clearly written down in front of you, it definitely brings it to you quicker than it would be if you're just keeping it in your mind.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it sounds like you've had some gaps with like the contracts as well. You haven't really been able to get a mentor yet that showed you the exact contracts to use and things like that as well, or
Yeah, I think there's so the contract because I joined one of the mentorships
Mhm.
for accommodation. I think it was similar. So
Mhm.
I have a contract. I think it's a consent to let or something like that.
Mhm.
Company wait,
Company let.
yeah, company let agreement.
Yeah.
So what it says in it, I don't know if I would need to repurpose it or the right strategy.
I mean,
Uh,
those are things we can definitely show you, but I mean, like generally speaking, company lets are pretty general. Like when if you were to take on your first rent to rent, most estate agents, if you were to go through an estate agent, they'd probably give you a company let agreement, and you'd have to sign their one, so you wouldn't even get to use your one in the beginning. I remember when I first got my first deal, I had my company let contract drawn up, and I agreed terms, and I sent it to the agent, and they were just like, "What are you doing? Like, we're not signing that.
yeah,
Here's our one. You sign this, and that's how it's gonna go," type of thing. So it's pretty
yeah,
much the standard contract, but there are a couple other contracts that you can use, especially like with rent to HMO. If it's going to be like a longer term agreement, if it's going to be a house where maybe you might spend a little bit of money doing it up, improving how it looks and stuff, then there's other contracts like lease agreements that can be a bit more stronger and a bit more long standing, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah, so yeah, even with like estate agents as well, like some of the gaps I have in my knowledge is
Mm.
what benefit is it to them
Yeah,
to
yeah,
kind of use
cool.
properties, additional cost for us as well if we were to go for estate agent versus direct to landlord.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, like that's a good question. A lot of people struggle with that, understanding how it works, but in a nutshell, basically, agents have normally around 200, the bigger ones, they normally have around 200 landlords on their books, right? And some of the properties that they have, especially the HMO side of things, I don't personally think estate agents are set up to manage those as well as they do with maybe like normal single let 2, 3 bed houses, because HMOs do take a little bit more of a specialized sort of knowledge in terms of, you know, marketing on different platforms than just Rightmove, Zoopla. Sometimes tenants on spare room, for example, will be messaging you at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, asking to come and view the property the next day. And most agents are clocking off by 5. So already like little things like that are reasons why they're not really best suited to do that job for the landlord in terms of finding tenants and managing it for them.
Yeah.
But in terms of their motivation, I mean, like we've got a few different tricks that we use to make it more appealing to them, but ultimately they can get paid by yourself for like an introduction fee. And also the landlord would have to pay them an introduction fee for finding a tenant, which would
Mm.
be your company would be the tenant, right? So in cases where that happens, agents can make sort of £2,000, £1,500, whatever they've agreed with the landlord. Sometimes it's 1 month's rent for the tenant find fee that they charge landlords. And if you were to give them £300, £500 on top of that, then they've basically made 2 grand for just introducing two people and stepping out of the way, you know. And as a business, like if you've got staff and you obviously spending money on going and taking photos, marketing a property, doing viewings, versus just picking up the phone to someone like yourself and getting an introduction fee from you, getting a fee from the landlord, and then moving on when they've got hundreds of other properties to deal with. It's quite a good pitch for them. Like it's quite easy for them. It's easy money without doing much work, which is what they love to do. So there's a couple ways that we can go about doing that. But I mean, those are all things that we can show you exactly what we do and how it's worked for us in the past, and we can work on that and really fine tune your pitch if that's the route you want to go down, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
It sounds like you've got yourself set up, so it would be more a case of marketing, working out what to say, getting your scripts, which are all included in the course as well. And it's doing the reps basically, getting on the
Yeah,
phones as soon as possible. It's just a matter of numbers, you know. Most people don't understand. It's just a case of speaking to as many people as possible and then communicating the service to them in the right way. And obviously, yes, you're going to get told no quite a few times. But out of the pool of people that you speak to, you will eventually get told yes. So it's just doing the work, practicing, and being willing to fall down, get back up, and get back on your feet, dust yourself off, and go again. You know.
yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's I'm very interested. Like, this is all I want to do. Like, I just want to lock in and get some results from it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I've been thinking like because it's Christmas period, does that make a difference in terms of whether it's the right time? I'm thinking, cool. Should I gather that? Should I just wait and then start from the new year? I'm trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
get something.
I mean, that's another, I guess, unique selling point of our thing is that I'm actually like gearing up to take on more rent to rents myself now as well. So like I've been sending letters out. I've just come off the phone to a landlord this morning. I'm trying to get deals actively myself. So you get to kind of work alongside me as well. So
Yeah,
whatever's working for me, I'll be sharing with you. It's going to be getting updated constantly as well. Like certain recordings of my own phone calls with landlords will be uploaded to it, so you'll be able to listen to them and copy what I'm saying.
yeah,
Now's a great time because there's a lot of turnaround at the moment. Like the landlord I just spoke to, he's got a ten block of flats, which is an HMO basically, and he's got 8 of those flats that have just become empty. So he's looking for someone to come in and give a guaranteed rent to them. Um,
yeah,
so there are definitely landlords that have empty properties at the moment because people leave at the end of the year, don't they? So
yeah,
I think it's a great time now in January when everyone else is asleep and like rubbing their bellies with all the Christmas food and then relaxing.
yeah,
Get on the phones for a month, like every day consistently, Monday to Friday for as many, you know, an hour here, an hour there. It all starts to compound. And I think going into February, March, if you start the year like that in January, then you're setting yourself up to have your first couple rent to rent deals by sort of April, maybe even May, around that sort of time, you know. But you have to put the work in. You know, I'm not going to kid you and act like it's not, you know, it's not going to fall out of the sky. You have to graft for it, you know. But you seem like you're willing to do that, which is good. So that's the type of
yeah,
person we like to work with, you know.
yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's probably all my questions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to literally gonna go back and consider like next steps. Think about whether or not I have any more questions. Yeah, and
Well,
then I can.
if you do, then you can just book another call, bro. There's no rush. But I want you to feel like you've got all your questions answered before you commit to it, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I probably appreciate that, man. This is probably the best call I've jumped on.
No, it's
Uh,
good, bro, man. I've been doing it for a while now, bro, you know. I'm 7 years in the game. I'm an old boy now, so you know it's
the rip still.
yeah, I'm experienced in it now, and I know what it takes to get someone where they need to get to. So if you're committed, then I can be just as committed to you, and we can get you where you want to get to for sure, bro. Yeah, and we'll catch up soon. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll wait.
All right, bro. Take care of yourself.